Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar. So today's webinar will cover about the Fronius Solar Online Support Tool. We have a digital tool for servicing and troubleshooting, and we'll also go through some of the new features on the SOS tool. So if you have any questions, we are there to answer all these questions at the end of the webinars. And also in the meanwhile, you can post your questions on the chat window. So we'll jump onto the webinar now. So let me introduce myself. I'm Balaji Ganesan. I'm the lead tech support engineer at Fronius Australia. So far, I've been with Fronius for more than 6 years now. It's been a great journey. Yeah. Now let's quickly go through the topics that's covered during today's webinar. So we'll quickly go through the Fronius apps, the apps that's available for monitoring, service, and troubleshooting as well. And we'll also get to know about the Fronius SOS, the new Solar SOS app, and we'll also have a live demonstration on the various features on the SOS app. And then we'll go through the service process at Fronius Australia, and then a few more points at the end of the webinar. So just an overview about the apps we have to offer. So we have the Solar Start app, which is used for commissioning SnapINverters and as well as Gen 24s. And then we have the Solar SOS app, which is used for service and troubleshooting. And then we have the commissioning app as well. So even though we have 3 different apps, there is one common goal to all these apps. So the goal is to maximize the uptime. So how do we maximize the system uptime? So we have the best quality products out there in the market. And then we have the best service network as well. So by making use of the Solar.Web monitoring app and the Solar SOS as well. So, you proactively monitor the PV systems. And even before the end customer comes to know about the faults, you can start troubleshooting the state code using the SOS app and then fix the issue in one go. So, putting the best products out there and then the best quality of service guarantees or maximizes the system uptime. And in Fronius, we do believe in something called the Fronius proactive service approach. So what is Fronius proactive service approach? So, we travel all across Australia and offer our training programs. And then we do also have the Fronius Solutions Partner Network. So we selectively choose certain companies in the market and train them to become our FSPs. And once they become FSPs, we offer them an FSP toolkit, which enables on-site servicing. And, with the on-site servicing, the beauty is even you monitor the system on Solar.Web, and if there's something going on or there's something wrong with the system, the FSP goes out to the site with the service kit or the toolkit and fixes the issue in one go. And we have the best quality and state-of-art technical support here in Australia. So the installers can call us, and we'll be more than happy to help them with the troubleshooting part and also organize replacement inverters. And apart from that, we also have the digital support tools, such as the Solar.Web app and also the Solar Start app and the Solar SOS app. So, so this is what we call as the proactive service approach at Fronius. So now let's dive into the topic of the Fronius Solar Online Support. So what is Fronius SOS? So the full form is the Solar Online Support. So what the tool offers is it's a great self-service tool for technicians on site. And using SOS, the troubleshooting can be done without even having to contact technical support. Having said that, we are always there to help, but this would be like a quick reference tool just to help you with the basic troubleshooting part. And if none of the troubleshooting works, you can organize or you can request for a replacement inverter or a component right by using SOS. And apart from that, you can also track all your service cases and the case history using SOS. And SOS can also be used to check the warranty status or the warranty period that's left on an inverter. So it's a one-stop tool for all your servicing needs. And how does the SOS app look like? So this is how it looks like, and it's available both in the Google Play Store and also in the App Store. And it's also available as a desktop version. So just Google it for Fronius SOS, and then you would get the link to the SOS tool. All right, going forward, let's jump on to the key features on the SOS app. The very first important highlight of the SOS app is, or the SOS is the digital registration. So with the digital registration, there is no requirement for signing the declaration of consent forms anymore. So you just go to the Fronius SOS, register, put on all your details, and then you could just create an account even without signing any paper. So it's 100% digital. And once you create an SOS account, that username can be used for Solar.Web as well. So that's basically by utilizing the IAM registration platform, which combines Solar.Web and SOS as well. Going forward, and then once you log into SOS, you'll be able to manage multiple accounts. So what do we mean by multiple accounts? So multiple accounts across different companies can be accessed from a login. Let's say you could be doing your own install, and you could be a subcontractor for a different company or a solar retailer. So in that case, you could be linked to two different companies just by using one login. So in order to set it up, please contact our tech support, and we'll be more than happy to sort it out for you. So by using this, you can switch between different accounts. So when you raise service cases for your company, you could do it under that. Or if you're raising a service case on behalf of your subcontracting company, that company can be chosen as well. And that's how you manage multiple accounts by using single login. We'll go through this in detail in the live demonstration, so we'll cover this topic there. And easy troubleshooting. So by using SOS, what you can do is you can simply put in the serial number of the inverter and the state code that comes up on the inverter as well, and then follow through the prompts step by step, and try to troubleshoot using those steps. And if none of those steps work, a replacement inverter or a component can be requested by using the SOS. Going forward, just quickly going through the state codes that could occur on a SnapINverter. As you would be aware, the state codes on a SnapINverter are 3-digit state codes starting 1, 3, 4, 5, and 7. If the state code starts with 1, it's most likely a grid-related state code. If a state code that starts with 3, it could be a temporary error, which could be rectified on its own or by means of a software update. But at times it could be a hardware failure as well. Likewise, with the state code that starts with 4, it could be a hardware-related failure as well, and at times a software update can fix it too. And state code that starts with 5, it doesn't interrupt the feed-in operation, but it may require some attention to the system. Say, for instance, one common error code is 517, which means power derating due to high temperature. So if this state code happens, the inverter would still be making power, but it's just reducing its power output due to increase in temperature. So it could be a fan that's not spinning properly, or something that's stuck onto the fan, and it may require some intervention. So it basically doesn't interrupt the feed-in operation. And state code starting with 7, it could be related to the control unit, or it could be a software related issue as well. So just giving an overview on the state codes that could occur on a SnapINverter. So all these state codes can be found on SOS. So that's the beauty of SOS. So you don't need to remember what exactly these state codes are. So once the inverter is set up for online monitoring through Solar.Web, it makes it even more easier for us. So how it makes it easy? Once the system is added on Solar.Web, and if something goes wrong with the system, it could be notified by a service message on Solar.Web. So when you log on to your Solar.Web account and just simply go onto the system, and then you would be able to see the list of state codes that has occurred on the system. And you can expand that menu as well. You can expand that state code, and it would give you a short description of where the problem is and what has to be looked after. And that state code can be punched into SOS, and the troubleshooting begins right from there. And likewise, there are state codes that's applicable for Gen 24 inverters as well. So unlike the Snap inverters where we have a 3-digit state code, the state code on a Gen 24 is of 4 digits. And say if the system is on Solar.Web and if something goes wrong, you get a service message there as well, and you can get to see a short description of the state code and where the problem is originating from. And this is a very new feature that's been added on Solar.Web, on SOS, and I'm pretty sure most of you may be aware, or some of you may not be aware of this, but this could be a great feature which could save a lot of your servicing time, especially when you need to get into touch with tech support just to generate a recovery key for a data manager card or a Gen 24. That can now be done via SOS. So I know there's no need to call tech support, but there is a condition or a situation that has to be followed in order to generate the recovery key using SOS. And the condition is the SOS username has either to be the owner of the system, or that SOS username has to be listed as the supervisor of the system on Solar.Web. So if this condition is not met, it won't be possible to generate the recovery key. So this is what we call as proactive service approach. You install the system, you set the system up on monitoring on Solar.Web, and if something goes wrong, you get to use SOS, and that's how it's done. And that's the proactive service approach. And some of the key features on the app as well. So we get to see the push notification, and there is a messaging center on the app. So in case if anything goes wrong, or if you want to get updated with the service request, this can be used. And there is the in-app communication feature. Let's say if you had raised a service request on SOS, you could simply log on to the app, go to the case, and then when you go to the messaging option there, you could directly send a message to tech support, and that will be looked after. So that's how the app has a communication feature as well. And this is also available in the web version, the desktop version. So it's available on both. And once you open a case, you also get notified, or you can also get some information regarding the delivery or the shipment of the item. So it could be an inverter, or it could be the components on the inverter. So you could get the status of the delivery or the shipment on SOS as well. And apart from all these features, you could have a summary of all the cases or all the service requests raised on SOS under My Cases. So you don't need to worry about making a note of these case reference numbers or the list of service requests that you've raised. All you need to do is simply log on to SOS and go to My Cases, and you will get to see the list of the cases raised by you, and it could get quite handy at times, especially when you're trying to get some information on it.
I think that's a good question from Dean here, Balaji. So on the SOS app, can his employees have their own SOS or Solar.Web account login, but is linked to their main account, and can they arrange, let's say, one of the employees arrange one of the exchange?
Yep.
Can it be managed by one main account and have like a lot of smaller accounts underneath it? Or let's say one account and multiple contacts underneath it?
We'll probably need to double check on that, Seb, but I reckon that's definitely doable, because we do have an option for multiple access windows. So, that should be available. So, but we can get back to him on that. We can double check few things.
Yeah.
And, that's a doable
solution. So we can maybe provide a bit more information on this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thanks. All right, thanks for that question, Dean. And coming back to the case overview, so you could have an overview of all your current and past cases there. And apart from that, using SOS, you can also request for the warranty status on a serial number of the inverter, which is called the device data query. So what it means is, you could just put in the serial number of the inverter there, and check what's the warranty period that's left on the inverter. So this especially comes in handy for some of the old IGs or some of the old Snap inverters as well, where we have the 5+ 5-year warranty. And if you would like to check if the unit is under the full warranty or parts only warranty, you could simply punch in the serial number of the inverter and get to see the warranty period that's left on the unit. So please be aware, if the inverter is on full warranty, we'll pretty much cover the service reimbursement for replacing the unit, also the freight and the transport included in it. But say if the unit is on if it's out of the full warranty, then you get we just cover the parts or the components involved with it. So the freight and the transport will not be applicable, and there won't be any service reimbursement if the inverter is out of its full warranty. So which means it's on parts warranty, we only cover the replacement parts or the inverter. Okay, going forward, and you also get to see the manuals and videos that's linked to a specific inverter model or the serial number of the inverter. So simply go to the manual section and you get to see the installation, operation manual, and also the service manual for a specific inverter model. And we also added few YouTube videos that could be relevant with that inverter. So SOS not just helps you with the servicing part, so it also helps you with the installation part, and also if you need to look onto some information, we have the manual section up there. Now we are done with going through the key features. Now let's actually jump into the live demonstration and check what's going on with SOS. Okay. All right. So now I'm just gonna quickly go through on how to create an SOS account to start with. So just go to solar-sos.fronius.com or just Google Fronius Solar Online Support and click on the link. So once you land onto the page, click on login or create account. For installers or technicians without an account yet, so what you could do is just simply click on register now. Follow through the prompts. Here's where you enter your email, your password, and then click on register now, after which you would be receiving a link. And all you need to do is click on the link and then continue with the registration prompts, and then fill in your address, your company details, and all that. And then you would be created an account. So in case if you already have an SOS account and if you can't raise any service request, you may not have a Fronius customer number. Only when you have a Fronius customer number, we'll be able to process service cases and requests. So if you don't have a Fronius account number, or if you have never raised a service order with us, please get into touch with tech support, and we could organize the Fronius customer number for you guys. So now just going back to the main page, Fronius SOS. Let's say once you have an SOS account created, just simply click on login. Then just going to use one of the trial usernames, then put in your password, and then log in. All right. So once you log in, you get to see the options and features that are available. And then you get to see the name of your account. So let's start with the troubleshooting part. So, if you have a serial number of the inverter there, that's well and good. I'm just going to put in a serial number that we have in our office. And it automatically comes with the product group that's involved with it. And then let's say we put a state code that's occurred on this unit, for example, 401, and press enter. It's going to come up with the list of troubleshooting steps that could be applicable for this inverter. So this is the first step. If it fixes it, restart the inverter, the universal solution sometimes. If it doesn't fix it, just go to the next step and keep going. And hopefully, if one of the troubleshooting steps fixes it, you could just give a feedback here saying it's solved. Otherwise, if none of the troubleshooting steps work, you could organize or request for a replacement inverter right from here. Okay, and all you need to do is just go to here. You would get an option called request for exchange inverter. All right. So if none of the troubleshooting steps work, so just simply click on request exchange or repair. And once you click on it, it's going to ask you if it's going to be a component exchange or a device exchange. So please be aware, only Fronius Solutions partner can do component level replacement. So if you're not a Fronius Solutions partner, please get into touch with us, and we'll send you a link, and you can register your interest into the Fronius Solutions partner, and someone will get back to you. So in this case, let's say if you are just going to request for a replacement inverter, just simply go to device exchange, not device repair, device exchange if you're requesting for a replacement inverter. So device repair is, you would use this option when you want to send us the inverter here to Fronius for inspection and repair. So that's very rarely used. So in order to request for replacement inverters, just click on and choose device exchange. So if you had entered the serial number of the inverter already when you are troubleshooting, it will automatically populate here, and you would get to see the state code, and you can also put a failure description or your troubleshooting notes. So putting some information on the failure description or adding your troubleshooting notes here would help tech support to process these service cases really quick. So please enter the information that you have. So I'm just gonna put in mega test results. Verifying. Panel checked. Checked. No isolation fault found. Replace the inverter. So just a short description of what went wrong on site, and a failure description would really help us a lot. And apart from that, if the inverter has any signs of burnt marks or any signs of water ingress within the unit, you could also attach those photos here. So it comes under the attachments area here. So just click on add files and you could upload your pictures over here. Or even if you have a Fronius warranty claim form that's filled in, you could attach that file here. So the warranty claim form is attached to the handout section on the webinar tool. So please feel free to download it. And all you need is to raise a service case. Just fill in all the details that's required in the warranty claim form and attach it to the SOS case. Quite simple. And once that's all done, just click on continue. And if you have any questions about the overview of the service cost, you can just click on this option here, and that would just give you a breakdown about the service costs involved. And then click on continue. And here, if you would like to have a customer case number, or if you want to have your local reference number or your own internal reference number, you can just simply put in here, and that reference number would come up on the job sheet. So this is different from the Fronius case reference number, and this consignment number or the customer case number is your own internal reference number for your so that it can be shown on the job sheet. And then please confirm the right delivery address here. The first name, last name, and an email address is must. So you can just put in your company's email address here. Here, I'm just going to put in the SOS email. And the delivery address, same as the pickup address. That option can be chosen as well. And once you make all these checks, please click on continue. Okay. So that basically gives an order summary, the delivery address, the pickup address, the error description, and your acceptance to the terms and conditions. Then once you click on send order, that will be raised as a service case to with Fronius Australia. And in order to check that, if you need to check the case reference number, what you could simply do is go to the cases section here, and that's going to show and when you click on all, it's going to show the list of cases that's been raised under your SOS account. So, this is what I was referring to. This shows the case overview or the summary of all the cases raised by this SOS account. And once you select it, you'll also be able to look into the details of that case. And if you would like to message or text the tech support team, you could just go to messages and then simply type in your message, hi, I would like to get an update regarding this case. And then click on send, and that would be sent as a message to our support team. And then I will get back to you. And another important point that I want to mention about the SOS is for tech support is currently prioritizing all the service cases raised by SOS. So if you use SOS, we are trying to answer all those queries within less than 24 hours. That's our target response time. So this could obviously vary if we have few peak times, but our target response times for cases raised via SOS is less than 24 hours. And then going back to the cases overview, and then apart from the messages feature, you also can go to delivery and check the status of your replacement inverter and get the shipment status of the replacement units. So under the cases section, let's say your installer or technician has already been to the site, and if you have all the supporting information, and if you would like to raise a service case, you can also do it by clicking on create case here. So it's very similar to what we did before, but here we are not undergoing any troubleshooting process. And when you click on create cases under the case section, you just put in the serial number of the inverter, and that would automatically come up with the product type. And if you have an internal reference number, that can be filled in here. And if the data logger ID of the system can be entered, that's well and good. That would help us to locate the system on Solar.Web and check what was the issue. And then you can put in a state code there. Okay. And then if there is an attachment, that could be added here as well, and click on submit, and that will just create a case. So there are two ways of creating a case, so you can use whichever one is applicable or convenient to you. And going forward, we also have the device data query. So what is device data query? So it helps us to find us the warranty period that's left on a Fronius inverter. So it could be an IG, it could be a SnapINverter, or it could be a Gen 24 or Toro. Simply put in the serial number of the inverter there and enter. It's going to give you the device name and the warranty period that's left on the unit. And if the system is added on Solar.Web, it will also give you the data logger ID and the name of the system on Solar.Web, so that you can locate this system on Solar.Web too. So you could also start the troubleshooting from here, and you could also contact technical support if you would like to get further additional information regarding this inverter. And apart from the device data query, you have the manual section where you could again put in the serial number of the inverter there, and it's going to come up with all the installation manual or the operating manual that's linked with that specific inverter model. Yeah, so feel free to make use of this feature if you need to locate an operating manual or instruction manual for a specific inverter, and also a few videos regarding that specific inverter class. All right, so now we move on to a very important feature, a new feature that's been added on to SOS. So what's that? That's the recovery key. Yay, so what does the recovery key do? So when you are trying to set up the monitoring on a SnapINverter or a Gen 24, or you may have added a smart meter and set up export limit on it. If you had forgotten the service username or the admin username, or in case of a Gen 24, it could be the customer or the technician password. You could generate the recovery key by using the recovery key function. So now I'm going to demonstrate how this can be actually used in order to generate the recovery key. So it's the very first step. Before we start, there's an important note that I'll have to mention here. So the SOS username that's being used here must be listed as at least as the supervisor of the system, or it could be the owner of the system as well. Otherwise, if these two conditions, or if one of these two conditions are not met, you won't be able to use the recovery key option. So all you need to do is, let's say if you want to generate a recovery key for one system here, let's say all you need to do is just go. And if you're the owner of the system, that's well and good. Otherwise, just log on to the system on Solar.Web, or you could ask your end customer to log on to their system and just click on add, enter the SOS username that's linked to you. Okay, confirm it, add them as a supervisor, and then click on OK. Okay. It looks like there was an extra space over there. Click on OK, and that username is now added as a supervisor. Okay. Now let's see how to generate the recovery key using SOS. So going back, and then we would choose the device type. Okay, so now I'm going to use the data manager card up here in the office. So just put in the device type, and then we do have a live system up here. So so here we have the data logger ID, which is 210414. 210414.
Maybe on this number, Balaji, where can they find this number? Maybe on the Solar.Web portal or on the inverter?
Okay. Yeah, what I'll do is, Seb, I'll just go through this again so that everyone is aware on how to get into this number. So, so in order to generate or get the recovery key, the very first step you need to do is just go to settings, and then you would choose the username for which you need to generate the recovery key. So first go to service. That's the common username that everyone needs a recovery key to. Go to service, and then you don't know the password because you may have forgotten the password. So click on forgot password. And once you choose that option, choose the username for which you want to retrieve the key or get the recovery key. So once you choose that, you will get the PIN for resetting the password. In tech support, we call it as the challenge key. So when you're calling us, you would be providing us the data logger ID and the challenge key or the PIN for resetting the password. So this is what you would need to enter over there. So this is the challenge key or the PIN. So going back to SOS. So once you put in the data logger ID, choose the username, service. That's good. Okay. And then the PIN that we have here, 735104. 735104. And click on generate recovery key. And once you click on generate, so here we go. Here's the recovery key. So you would copy this key. So hit on just copy key here. And let's say you're on site, and if you want to generate or reset the password, just go and copy the key here where it says recovery key. Just copy the password there, and then put in your new service password. And then simply save it. And once you save, that will be your new service password. So as simple as that.
That's great. So maybe if we look at an example, right? So yep. Let's say I'm on the site on Saturday, and of course, Fronius is not, you guys are not open on Saturday. So I can just jump on this. Let's say I forgot my service password because then I can't activate the first smart meter.
Yep.
So I go on site, I connect my phone to the inverter, I try to activate the smart meter, doesn't work. I go to SOS, and then I just follow those steps that you just showed me.
Exactly, that's it. No, so it makes installers more independent on site. Let's say, as you said, they could be on the site on a weekend where they don't have access to tech support. So here we go. We have given them a solution.
I thought the solution was giving your direct number.
Good one, sir. Oh, Solar cutters.
Exactly.
All right, so yeah, that's how you would generate the recovery key for a SnapINverter. The similar step is for a Gen 24 as well. So you would just choose the device type as Gen 24 or Toro. In case of a Gen 24, you would be entering the serial number of the inverter there. And then basically it's choosing the account type as customer or technician and put in your challenge key or the PIN over there and generate the recovery key. All right, so that's most of the features on SOS. So now I'm just going to show the multiple account switching. Let's say if you have your own installation, or if you're running your own installation and also are a subcontractor for a different company, you could contact our tech support, and we could organize for that multiple account switching process. So once you have multiple accounts that's been set up under your account, you could just switch between your accounts over here. And when you click on your profile, all you need to do is just choose that specific company that for which you want to raise the service request or raise a case. You would just choose it and do the steps here. And apart from that, if you are not quite sure if you need a replacement inverter or not, you could also use SOS to create a normal support case, and just go by cases, and then you would just go and create a case. Okay. So going back to our presentation, now we are done with the live demo. So now you guys know how to use SOS, how to use it for troubleshooting, and how to use it for raising service requests as well. So now let's dig into the service process followed at Fronius Australia. So what's the troubleshooting process, or what's our service process? So the typical way is, when you contact our tech support, please make sure that you have a case reference number. It could be a case reference number for the case that you raised via SOS, or it could be a case that you raised over the phone as well, or via email. If you don't have a case number, that's okay, but have the serial number of the inverter handy, or if there is a state code or error code that's displayed on the inverter, or if you get to see those error codes on Solar.Web, just have that state code as well. You can also have the data logger ID of the inverter, which could come in quite handy, and the type of fault and what exactly is happening on site, so that it helps us to troubleshoot the issues really quick. And the exchange process at Fronius Australia. So technical problem, contact tech support, or use SOS. The problem solved, well and good, happy days. If the problem is not solved, that's where you need to request for a replacement inverter or a component. So once that's been requested or raised with Fronius via phone call or via SOS, an exchange item is sent. And once the exchange item is sent, you would go to the site, replace the unit, and pack the unit, the faulty unit on the package that it came along with. And then you would need to get into touch with Fronius, within 10 days to arrange for the pickup of the faulty unit. You can reach us via email, which is pv-service-australia@fronius.com, or reach our service team on 03-8340-2920. So 2920 is the direct number for service, and for tech support, the direct number is 03-8340-2910. And once that's done, we receive the faulty inverter back, and we inspect the unit. If it's covered under warranty, well and good. You will receive the service reimbursement of, if it's a SnapINverter, the service reimbursement is $200 plus GST to replace the unit. If it's not a successful warranty claim, you will be invoiced. And some of the common errors that can be avoided while raising a case or a service request: please make sure that the serial number of the inverter is right when you provide it to tech support or when you enter it on SOS. If the serial number is incorrect, then it would cause some processing delays as well. And also, if the serial number is different to what was reported to us, please contact the service team directly on the above number to rectify the issue. And please avoid units or boards being sent to Fronius without any cases raised or without any service request. So always make sure that you raise a case with tech support or via SOS, and the collection of the faulty unit has to be organized with our service team. And when you return the unit, please make sure that there is proper paperwork attached to it. Otherwise, it could become a very difficult task for us to sort out those faulty units once we receive it. So thereby helping to save our time as well. And also try to organize for the pickup of the faulty unit within those time frame of 10 days. So, if that time frame is exceeded, there may be some replacement charges involved. And as a very last point, please avoid sending invoices to us before receiving the $0 invoice. So what's a $0 invoice? It's nothing but upon a successful warranty claim, we send you a $0 invoice with a 211 reference number on it. So in order to claim your service reimbursement for replacing the unit or component, you need to invoice back to PV-Service-Australia and just mention the 211 reference number that's mentioned on that invoice, and you would be receiving the service reimbursement. And that's pretty much it with the service process and also SOS. And just giving you an overview really quick on our YouTube channel. So if you're looking for some important information about our inverters or other solutions we offer, just go to YouTube and just type in Fronius Australia, and you would be having a big range of playlists that's been under our channel. And also, if you're looking for some technical information, you can we can go to our tech support page that's been mentioned over here, or just type in Fronius Australia tech support on Google, and you would get access to this link as well. So under this page, you get access to the technical resources, which includes white papers, quick guides, and also other software updates that we have. So, all the information to support you guys there on the field is there. So please feel free to make use of it. And if you're looking for some additional information regarding these digital tools and apps, you can find it under the link over there. And yeah, that's pretty much it from my side, guys. So if you have any questions, we'll be there for a few more minutes to answer all your questions. And I hope you guys now know how to make use of SOS and utilize it to minimize your time on site and be more independent on site, and even be more informed with the troubleshooting and the state codes that's occurring on a Fronius inverter, and be a part of our proactive service approach. All right, have a nice evening, everyone.